Hey y'all, it's Annelies, and in this video, I want to talk to you about my favorite piece of lighting equipment, and that is this 18-inch Neewer ring light. So before we get started, I'll go ahead and show you what comes with the light, because I feel like that's kind of important. So first, it's gonna be these little gel frame clip thingies that you can attach directly to the light, and it actually comes with two sets. So you either get this kind of like foggy white gel or these amber gels, which is really nice because it gives you the ability to choose between a warmer light or a cooler light. This light is a 5500 Kelvin light, so it's going to mimic daylight. It is on the daylight scale, but if for some reason you needed a warmer light, you have that option. And they just kind of overlap each other and they snap right in. Easy. So this light actually came with two accessories. One is a little cheap plastic remote that I don't even know where it is anymore. And secondly is this kind of soft shoe tripod adapter, which I never use on this. I use it for other things. So if you look right here, you can see that there's a soft shoe mount. And what that's meant for is to slide this little doohickey on. Is this not the right thing? See, okay, I knew something was up. I really thought this is the one it came with. I never use it, but it's meant to be to where you can attach your smartphone here and you don't even need an additional tripod. But I never use this for that. I use it for other things, but that's at least an option you have. And then the last accessory this light comes with, which was a deal breaker for me, I needed to make sure it had this, is a travel carrying case. Now this is like 20 inches by 20 inches. It's not very wide. It also has a nice carrying strap, which is great for travel, and two handles in the middle with a zipper, and everything that comes with the light, so the light and the cable all fit in here. The only thing that doesn't fit is the tripod that it comes with. That you have to carry separately. And I would just like to note that if you fly Southwest in the United States, this does fit in the overhead compartment. I remember, I think it was like, if you read the measurements a certain way, technically it works. And if you act confident, nobody will question you. And I traveled with this ring light from California to Florida and back because I wanted to have some sort of lighting equipment when I lived in Florida. This is the smallest, most compact thing that I own. It's also my favorite thing that I own, so I had to take it, and thanks to this bag, it fit. Now, I wouldn't really consider this an accessory, but it does come with the tripod. I am 5'10", and this is not even extended all the way. This light can go up pretty dang high. That's gotta be at least 7 feet in the air. It's almost touching my ceiling. I don't know why you would need a ring light this tall, but you have that option. You would want to be careful because it's very unstable this way, but at least if you need it tall, you can do that. Now, something that I love about this light is you can kind of articulate it in different directions. So this first knob on the bottom is going to be for loosening it off of the actual tripod. So if you wanted to take this thing off and put it in the bag, this is where you would loosen it. The second one is going to be for bending forward and back. So if I just loosen this just a little bit, I can now bend it facing the sky. I can bend it tilting forward or all the way at a 90-degree angle. You just want to be careful the more weight you're putting forward because, like I said, this is kind of top heavy. This is not the most expensive tripod in the world. You'd probably want to weigh it down on the bottom if you did need to have it completely flat like this, or like I'm doing, I'm standing on it. So looking from the back, we've got a few things going on. On the left of the back, this is the cable connection. The bulk of the cable separates from the actual ring light, which is nice for when you're moving it around your room or your studio, or for when you're traveling. You just push it in and twist it to lock, and you're good. And then on the right side is the knob for turning up the brightness. Now, when it comes to this light, the reason why I love it so much is because how freaking powerful it is. This light can go from 0 to 100 real fast. I've used this light in the past to light my entire bedroom. I have about a 20-foot by 20-foot bedroom. This thing can light my whole room, no problem. This light has so much versatility, not only for the fact that you can change out the gels and have it be different temperatures, but the fact that it can be so low and then go so bright is very, very handy. I had to make sure to film this video during the daytime. The window is right behind my camera because this is a light I rely on so heavily. Now, as you probably know with like the beauty gurus, typically people will put it right behind their camera or just out of sight in front of it like this, and that's how their light will be, and just putting it straight on, and that totally works. It gives you an even light, but then an effect that you also get is you get the little rings in your eyes, and I'm not a fan of that. And I've also heard that I guess some people buy ring lights just for that feature of getting that ring in your eyes. To each his own, but for me personally, the way that I use my ring light is I put it just slightly off to the side. So if if this was actually a filming setup, this would be behind my camera, of course, because this is blocking the camera. But I put it slightly off to the side and I angle it at me this way. And then I have additional lights that I put on the other side to kind of fill this dark space. I like doing it this way because it's such a powerful light that I get so much light source from it, but then I don't have as much of that ring in my eyes, and I feel like it just looks way more natural. But once again, what is so great about this light is if I was ever in a situation where I didn't have all my other lights, the ones that are on right now, I still have even lighting, which is very important. I can still be seen. So for the purposes of this video, I'm going to turn off my ceiling light, I'm going to close my blinds, and I'm going to turn my ISO to 100, just so you can see from the very lowest brightness on this to the very brightest brightness. So I know you can't see me, but right now my camera is on 100 ISO on 60 frames per second and an f4.5 aperture. I am on a 10 to 18 millimeter lens on the 10 setting, and every light in my room is off. There's a teeny glimpse of daylight coming through my blinds, but it's pretty dark in here. I'm going to go ahead and turn on my light to what I think would be about like 10%. Okay, so I'm gonna assume that this is about 10% with my little diffusers on here. I use the diffusers because it makes it easier on my eyes. Otherwise, I'd be staring into very bright light. Now I'm gonna turn it up a little bit more. I'm gonna assume that this is like 50% lit. Probably around 80% now, and this is 100% lit. Now, of course, this is not the ideal lighting setup. I wouldn't put my light in front of my camera, and maybe I'd rather have lights behind me, filling up my background and stuff like that. But just to say that in front of me at 100%, you can see me perfectly on the lowest ISO setting on my camera, I feel like that's pretty dang impressive. Now, just for the sake of doing an experiment, I'm going to move my light about 5 feet away from me on the highest setting. So just for example's sake, my light is now 5 feet away from me behind the camera. Now you can see I'm not really well lit right now. This is kind of too far away, but if I were to bring this up in kind of like a normal setup, which is putting the light directly behind my camera, now you can see how much better this looks. My light is directly like 2 inches behind my camera, and I'm still on all those settings I mentioned before. And once again, this is not my favorite setup. I don't really like this because everything is still really dark, so that's when we could like fiddle with our settings. If I bump us up to 200 ISO, depending on what style of lighting you like, this might be perfect for you. You can now see the things in my background. I don't have too much of a shadow. I'm not really overexposed. So if I was in a completely dark room and I needed to film a video and all I had was this ring light, I know I could make it happen and it would still be a really high quality video. Okay, I gotta change this because this is it's dark and my eyes. Let me fix this. So now that we're back to normal, I just wanted to give my final thoughts on this ring light, the Neewer 18-inch ring light, and I love it. I don't know if you could tell by this video, but I think this light is pretty dang fantastic. It is very capable. It is great if you're somebody who can only afford one piece of equipment. I had other lighting equipment and I just wanted to kind of add something to it, and this was the perfect addition, but I also purchased it because I knew if I only needed or could have one light, that this would do the job. And this light overpowers both of my 2 soft boxes here. Like, I am just continually pleased and so happy with this light. I've had it for 2 years. It has literally traveled across the country twice. It has moved with me so many times. It is a wonderful, high quality piece of lighting equipment that I definitely recommend. So if you're somebody who's in the market for a piece of lighting equipment, or you're wondering like, should I get the 18-inch Neewer ring light? Do it 100%. I chose to go with this size over the 14-inch size because I felt like this would make more sense for me, and considering how big this is and it perfectly fits around my camera, I'm glad I did. I have a Canon 80D. I use the flip out screen when I'm recording. I also have the Rode Video Micro Mic Plus. I literally can never remember the name of this thing. It's got too many words in it. So I've got like a kind of a big setup going on, and that all fits within this circle. If I would have had the 14-inch, it would have been way too small. But I absolutely love it, and I think you'll love it too. And if you want to get your hands on one, I actually have a link in the description where you can go purchase it for yourself. Just as a heads up, it is an affiliate link, so that just means that I get a tiny commission for pretty much advertising a product that nobody asked me to. Amazon says, hey, we'll give you like a fraction of of a penny anytime somebody buys one as thanks. So if you want to purchase one, I would really appreciate it if you use my link in the description. Otherwise, you can go check that out online. And I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I tried giving as much information that I know I was looking for when I was researching this light. So hopefully this video gave you some perspective. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see any other videos from me, let me know in the comments down below, whether it be about this light, any equipment I have, my other lighting equipment. Let me know anything you have to say in the comments down below, and subscribe to my channel if you're new. I make videos about being a YouTuber, about tech, reviews, products I love, and just some general nonsense in between. So that's gonna be it for me, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Stay beautiful, have a marvelous day, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.